Hi everyone, and welcome back to Kitty's Dolls and Collectibles, where we celebrate the beauty and charm of vintage dolls and rare collectibles from decades gone by. In today's video, I'm so excited to share my entire vintage Toodles doll collection with you. These dolls are some of the most iconic baby dolls from the 1950s and 1960s, and I've spent years curating this special collection. Whether you're a seasoned collector, or just starting out, or simply enjoy a bit of vintage nostalgia, you're going to love this deep dive into the adorable and rare world of Toodles dolls. So grab a cup of tea, get cozy, and let's take a trip back in time. Before we meet my Toodles dolls, let's talk a little bit about the fascinating history behind Toodles. Toodles dolls were originally produced by the American Character Doll Company, a well-known US-based doll manufacturer that was established in 1919. This company was famous for creating several iconic dolls of the mid-20th century, including Betsy McCall, Tiny Tears, and of course, Toodles. Toodles made her debut in the mid-1950s and was instantly loved for her baby-like charm, sleepy eyes, and realistic body movement. Toodles quickly became one of America's most beloved play dolls and was released in several styles and sizes, from 19 inches up to an impressive 30 inches tall.
I always take my baby Toodle shopping in her Toodles three-way supercart. It's a stroller for walking, a high chair for feeding, and a supercart for shopping. Oh, look, there's Jane and infant Toodle. Hi, Marge. Well, look at baby Toodles. Isn't she beautiful? She's watching you with her big rolling eyes. What lovely long curled eyelashes. Toodles is such a cuddly baby. My infant Toodles is only 3 weeks old. She looks so pretty in her quilted bunting. I take infant Toodles everywhere in her car bed. There's your car. So long, Marge. Ask for baby Toodles and her three-way supercart. You too can have oodles of fun with Toodles, an American character doll. Toodles doll is oodles of fun. There's a Toodles doll for everyone. Toodles.
In 1968, the American Character Doll Company sadly went out of business. Their moulds and rights were eventually acquired by the Ideal Toy Company, another powerhouse in the doll manufacturing history. Although Ideal continued producing dolls, Toodles slowly faded from mainstream production, making her a treasured find among collectors today, especially outside the United States, where she was never widely distributed. In fact, here in Australia, Toodles dolls are almost impossible to find. They simply weren't marketed here in the 50s and 60s, which makes building a collection like mine a real challenge and a labour of love. Toodles came with either moulded hair or rooted sarin hair, with auburn being the most common colour, a deep reddish brown. Her sleepy, flirty eyes open and close, and many dolls have the peekaboo or follow me effect, giving her an eerily lifelike presence. Her body types varied too. Some had multi-jointed limbs allowing for movement, whilst others had straight arms and legs. Some dolls were equipped with a drink and wet system, which added to their realism during playtime. Now that we've covered Toodles' background, let me introduce you to the 5 special little ladies in my Toodles collection. Each of them has their own unique personality and backstory, and yes, I've named each one. So let's meet Rosie. She is the very first Toodles doll to arrive in my collection. She's 22 inches tall, and she has that beautiful, classically rooted auburn sarin hair that has made Toodles dolls so incredibly famous. She's a drink and wet doll, which was a very popular feature in the 1950s. And she has beautiful blue clear eyes that still open and close beautifully. And you'll notice that Rosie has straight arms and slightly bent legs, making her a sitting doll, a sitting Toodles doll. Now, her outfit, it isn't original, but she wears a charming vintage Polly Flinders dress, which suits her era perfectly. Polly Flinders was well known for its beautifully smocked dresses in the 1950s and 60s, and I think just the colour and the style of this dress brings out Rosie's sweet personality. Rosie has that serene, classic baby face that Toodles collectors love. And because she was my first, she'll always be a little extra special to me. This doll has a sunny personality, a placid baby that causes no trouble whatsoever. Next up, Audrey, my Toodles action doll. Audrey features a multi-jointed body, which means she can sit, kneel, and even pose in playful positions. She's the only Toodles in my collection with moulded hair. So this gives her a very different look compared to the other Toodles dolls. Audrey also has pretty green eyes, though the whites have yellowed slightly, which is a very common issue with dolls of this age. It doesn't take away from her charm at all. And she's dressed in this lovely vintage Little Billy sundress with matching bloomers. Not her original outfit, but definitely period appropriate. Because Audrey is an action Toodles, her personality is that she is an active baby and always on the move. Let's take a look at how Audrey moves. Her multi-jointed limbs make her incredibly poseable, perfect for display and photography. So look at this little cute position that she's in at the moment. As you can see, there's lots of movement with the legs. She can get all those natural poses that babies do. And so this would have been a lot of fun for kids. When you think about it, this doll came out in about 1954. So this would have been a lot of fun for children back then. You know, obviously the drink and wet, she's got that system as well. So she could be fed the water by the little bottle, and then being able to do all these positions. Apparently, they used to advertise 1,000 different positions she could do. So it was lots of hours of playtime. In this position, Rosie's attempting to crawl. You can see that here. So there's another position that she can do. And she can straighten her legs. So she's in this gorgeous standing up position. So she can climb and get into mischief that way. Let's meet Cherry, my little girl Toodles doll, sometimes referred to as the Toodles toddler doll in the community. Cherry has a vinyl head. She's got a plastic body, and you can see that she's got the straight legs and the straight arms. And she was made in 1960, and she's, as I said, a standing Toodles doll, and she features really sweet, iconic peekaboo eyes, meaning the eyes seem to follow you no matter where you stand, and that gives her a lifelike, sometimes cheeky expression. So I'll show you that now. So you can see Cherry's watching me. She's still watching. And then we move over here, and she's still watching the camera. So it's kind of a little bit freaky, isn't it? But her eyes always follow, and it's a really sweet feature of this doll. Cherry has these tiny teeth. Aren't they so cute? Which adds to her toddler-like appearance. And she's got green eyes, sort of greeny bluish type eyes. They're bright, although there is a touch of yellowing. Again, very typical for dolls of this vintage. Cherry is not wearing her original outfit, but she is wearing a beautiful Polly Flinders dress. And I think this outfit, together with the gorgeous little, look at the little shoes and socks that she's wearing, I think it suits her playful personality beautifully. Now, let me introduce you to the rare and stunning Vivienne. She's a 1958 babyface Toodles doll. Vivienne is a true gem in my collection. She features the classic babyface look, rounded cheeks and a pouty expression, and an almost cherub-like charm. These dolls were produced between 1955 and 1959 and now are incredibly hard to find, especially in such good condition. Vivienne has the rare dark hair and clear blue eyes, which makes her even more collectible. A fellow Toodles collector recently told me that for every 100,000 auburn-haired Toodles dolls manufactured, only one had this rich dark hair made. Even more exciting, Vivienne is wearing her original blue outfit. She's also an action doll with a multi-jointed body for posing, and as I mentioned before, her clear blue eyes are bright and full of character. She truly is the unicorn of my Toodles collection and is a top shelf baby. Finally, meet Betsy, my big baby Toodles doll, and the largest Toodles doll in my collection at a whopping 30 inches tall. She's a sitting doll, which is quite rare for a doll of this size, and she was also made in 1960. Like Vivienne, Betsy has incredibly rare dark hair, which makes her highly sought after and very collectible. She has the blue peekaboo eyes as well, though with slight yellowing, again totally normal for Toodles dolls. Betsy features the drink and wet system, and she has straight arms and slightly bent legs. She wears a beautiful vintage dress, not her original, but perfectly suited to her era. Her size, features, and rarity make her one of the stars of my entire collection. So that's a wrap up of a full tour of my vintage Toodles doll collection. I'd love to know which of these 5 little ladies is your favourite, and do you own any Toodles dolls, or are you on the hunt for one to add to your own collection? Drop a comment below and tell me your vintage doll stories. I absolutely love hearing them. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future doll and collectible showcases. And if you are as obsessed with vintage dolls as I am, make sure you check out my other videos on 1950s and 60s dolls, vintage clothing, and rare collectibles. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, bye everyone.